Real TV. Welcome. Or should I say, good morning. I know that it's been some time. And again, thank you for tuning in to Real TV. I'm Michael Israel. And today's topic is, are you ready for war? There's a lot to discuss. Be back in just a moment. Stay tuned. Yeah, maybe one day you'll awake. Or maybe you're already awoken. But don't run away from the truth. We need the truth. Don't run away from the truth. Yeah. Hang in there. Run the race all the way to the end. Run the race all the way to the end. Spending money not the only thing we need to do. Giving money to the poor is what we need to do. A lot of lies in this world, but we need the truth. I know you run away, but we need the truth. I know you want to run away, but we need the truth. It's like we living in the cage, living in the zoo. Why you want to run away when we need the truth? Why you want to run away when we need the truth? All right, and again, we're back. This is Michael Israel here. As always, silence is betrayal. If you know the truth and don't say the truth, then the blood is on your hands. So, I have been continuing the work of spreading the good news, though I haven't been posting as frequently as I would have liked. Thank you all also for the love of watching the videos and the comments. I really appreciate it. There's many more to come. I'm working on a lot of good things for you guys. A lot of important information that we all need to know. And even if we do know it, we can always get a refresh. But there's so many different topics to cover. So tonight, I'm going to try to give you a good 30 minutes on this one. And I'm going to discuss a couple of different things. Also, moving forward, I'm going to go ahead and put a bug in your ear about this. I'm thinking about doing a concept called 20 questions. 20 questions. So, for those who have my email, and as you see it fit to you, if you have any questions, I do provide the email on some of the video links. So you can be sure to reach out there if you have a question, or you could post it on the comment section. Any questions that you may have, and then in about a week, 2 weeks or so, we're going to do a 20 questions episode, and I'll answer some of those questions that y'all may have. So we can try to bundle it up into one package and get the information out in wholesale, if you will, even though it's not for sale. It's good to be back to share this information with you. And the reason why I'm calling this subject tonight, are you ready for war? Which I'm going to touch on the Charlottesville situation and this whole Civil War thing that's going on shortly. But to catch up with the news, I want to talk about the solar eclipse. I had someone ask me, what did I think about the solar eclipse? Well, to be honest with you, I actually slept it off. I didn't have any intentions to buy any shades and to go and watch the sun. So I want to go ahead and give you the spiritual aspect of it, as you may know, and for those who don't. But the Most High in Genesis 1 speaks of how the lights, those lights are for signs of the times, and for seasons and the calendars of the year. So basically, I mean, that's all it was to me. It's just a sign of a time that we're living in. And just to bring it all together, I actually had a flight, right, that I had booked out to New York City, leaving from the East Coast here of the South, and it was scheduled for August 18th through the 21st. Now, I'm not sure if you listened to my first episode or not, but I don't own a TV. I don't own a lot of worldly things, so I'm not so up to beat with the weather as I should be. But I didn't know anything about the eclipse, to be honest with you. So I was just imagining, what if I was on that flight and, me not having any idea of the eclipse, and I see that, this solar eclipse thing going on, that I would have thought it would have been pretty wild. You just wake up from a nap or something like that, and you just see the moon and the sun crossing paths. That's not really a good thing. It's a sign. It's a sign of something, but of what? We're going to talk about that shortly. But my flight was canceled, and I think it was just, all according to the Most High, because I couldn't find my debit card. I couldn't find my debit card to book my flight. Had the hotel booked and everything, and I didn't book my flight earlier out in advance as I should have. But when I tried to book it, I lost my card, so I couldn't make the flight, and I didn't have the car with me to get a rental or anything to make a road trip. So, but anyways, to keep it real with you, to keep it 100, a lot of people actually, believe it or not, whether you want to believe it or not, actually worship the sun when this event took place. And what I mean by that is that people went out and got beach chairs and sat out on their lawns and had a barbecue and a cookout and things. I mean, there were businesses that shut down the day before and the day of the solar eclipse, and say that they would resume business on the following day, on Tuesday the 22nd. I mean, several businesses. We're talking about an event that happened on a Monday, the earlier part of the week, and they shut down to see the sun. There were businesses that had live bands. There were businesses that had special drinks and cocktails. Starbucks, in general, they had a special solar eclipse beverage. There were establishments who had 50% discounts and 30% discounts. For what? For what? What was the meaning of this? What was the meaning of it? They had grocery stores selling quote-unquote solar eclipse shades for $1.99, and you have other places who are really stealing money from the people, selling shades for $15, $20, all for one day? For what? So when asked, what did I think of the eclipse? It was a sign of the time. For what, we'll deal with it shortly, but just know that the Most High, Yahweh, says that the sun and the moon are used for signs of the time. So when there's a solar eclipse, or if there's a lunar eclipse, or if you one night see that the moon is that reddish orange glaze on it, it's a sign. When you go to Revelations, when you go to Revelation, it's actually Revelation, singular, not plural with an S. So pardon me. But when you go to the book of Revelation, you'll read the scripture, how it says the sun shall turn black and the moon shall turn blood red. There's going to be a day when the sun completely goes out. And you know, the funny thing is, we don't appreciate the sun until it's gone. So the Most High is just revving us up. He's just priming the lawnmower, if you will, to let us know what's coming about. All right, so that's how I feel about the eclipse. I was also asked that I hear about microchips. So, like I said, I've been saying numerous of times. I've said this earlier in the year. I made a show about the chips coming out. The mark of the beast is here. It's here. It's not mandatory, but it's here. In the state of Wisconsin, about 2 weeks ago, certain companies made it voluntary for their employees to receive the mark of the beast. A chip in their right hand so they can clock in, so they can check their time clock, so they can put in their vacation time, things like this. And they say that it doesn't have a GPS tracking device on it. That's a lie. But the mark of the beast is here. It is here. It's not mandatory yet, but it is coming. And when it does come, it will be like a whirlwind. And you know, this all plays a role too for those who are doomsday preppers. So I want to talk about that, you know, because some people think that you can save silver and gold, right? And I want to correct my wrong on this. On a previous episode a few months ago, I did mention that silver and gold was okay to have during that time as a barter system. But I want to make a correction. If you have silver, if you have gold, just go ahead and cash in. Enjoy your money, spend your money. I'm not saying don't pay your bills or anything like that. Make sure those things are taken care of. But what I am saying is that for those who are prepping things like gallons of, or not gallons, but pounds of rice and pounds of dried beans, things that you can eat like that, and you have silver bullions and maybe gold blocks and things like that, or gold coins and silver coins, is not going to work. And I'm going to break it down like this. Matter of fact, let me give you a scripture. All right? Let me give you a scripture. So, when you go to... Okay, here we go. All right, when you go to Revelation, chapter 13, all right, verses 16 through 17, it is written, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on their right hand or in their foreheads. Hence the Wisconsin deal. Y'all can look this up. All right. But here it is about the gold and the silver. Let's break it down in spiritual aspect. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So it's plain as day that silver and gold is not going to be an exchange of money. You will have to have the chip in this upcoming demonic infested world in order to buy or sell, to rent a place, to pay your mortgage, to buy food, to you understand. So the silver and gold is done away with. Now when I say don't pack pounds of rice and dried beans and things like that, what you have to keep in mind is that when this system does crash, when this thing does fall down, they're going to back up the septic tanks in your house. They're gonna shut it off. They're gonna reverse it. Where there's sewage coming up from your toilets and your sink, you won't be able to get clean water like you like. And the gallons of water that you do have will if you're using it to boil water, what is it good to drink? You understand? And if you have to go get your things and go with your bug out bag or whatever, how are you gonna carry all these pounds of rice and these pounds of beans? Just take a little of what you can get. Maybe some if you do dehydrated fruit or some turkey jerky, something quick, something light. Maybe a few packs of MREs, some meals ready to eat. Nothing too heavy. You need something you can grab and you can go. And the last thing you need is a pound of dry goods that you have to boil with water that you're assuming you're going to have in your place. No, it's not going to work that way. It's not going to work that way. And if you have the goods in your basement, it's even worse. Again, when they flood these septic tanks out to get these people out of the house and to put these people in concentration camps, you got to get up and go. So that's just a quick breakdown on that. But, there's a scripture where the Most High tells us that we should build a house and that we should grow our own produce. That's in the Word. But the thing is, they want us to rent out. They don't want us to get any land. They don't want us to build our own house and to grow our own food. And, the saddest part is that we all buy food to have optimum health. Right? For the most part, right? Some people like to eat organic, who are healthy. For the most part, you like to eat organic. But the saddest part is that the food that we think is organic is not even organic. Well, what do I mean by that? Michael, what do you mean by that? Well, when you think about the chemtrails that they're pouring down in the sky every single day, they don't skip a beat from spraying the chemtrails in the sky. The chemtrails are going on all the crops anyway. Even if it doesn't have any pesticides, it will be contaminated from the chemtrails. You see? So it's not really organic, even though we think it is. But the scriptures does say we should drink poison and live. That's You see? You see how that works? But what's going to happen is when the system does crash, there's a safe place, if you will, for the elite to go, called DUMS. It's a underground military base system, and they have it where they have the fastest trains that go over like 400 miles an hour that can rail from DC to Denver in like an hour and a half. I lie to you not. And under the city, Denver itself, they call it the Mile High City, where they have a military base that's like 10 to 11 miles down. And underneath the city of Denver and the surrounding areas, there's an underground city that is like a 7-star hotel that has the finest technology. We're talking about something like you seen off the Men in Black or these other movies that are based underground, like The Island and things like that, right? But are you ready for war? Are you ready for war? Are you prepared? Don't you know that you have to don't you know that you prepare for war during a time of peace? You prepare for war during the time of peace. I know the word says that bodily exercise profiteth little, but the little that you can get, if you're jogging, if you're eating healthy, if you're trying to, stay fit, there's nothing wrong with that. Your body is your temple. I actually recommend that, you keep a just weight. The scripture does says keep a just weight. But, if this thing does pop off, are you going to be ready? Are you going to be ready? Now, what we also have to keep in mind too is that the scripture does say how we should not worry about the things we should eat or count the numbers of our hair. The Most High will provide. So if you can't afford to get certain foods and store them and things like that, just keep faith in the Most High. All things are possible to those who believe. All things are possible. If you have faith of a mustard seed, all things are possible to those who believe. Are you prepared for war if this thing takes off, if this thing kicks off? See, we had all these riotings that have been going on in Charlottesville and other cities in the world, and in the United States in particularly. But as we do know, for those who are conscious, for those who are awakened, that they do a lot of crisis acting. They get a lot of actors to have these fights and act like they hitting each other, and it's all propaganda. It's all propaganda. They create history, and they're creating a civil war. And what the Gentiles believe is that Trump is going to save America. They thought that putting Trump in office was going to help save America. Whether you choose Hillary or Trump, either way. They see the status of his lifestyle, being a billionaire and being a spokesman for rich white America, thinking that making America great again was going to save America. But let's just dissect that for a second, and we're going to take a short break, and we'll come back and break it down. But let's just take that in consideration. Let's make America great again. Well, before we say let's make America great again, we have to remember what America has been through. America was founded on tyranny. America stole the land from the indigenous people that was here. America was built on blood. So when you say, let's make America great again, what exactly are they talking about? Over 300 years of slaving the Hebrew Israelites, slaving my grandmother, my grandpa, my cousins and aunties, my family, changing our names, lynching us, cutting the babies from the mother womb, and stomping the baby's head. Everything that we've been through in the past, was that great back then that they're trying to make now? See, the thing is that, and again, I'm not being racist, but I'm just calling it what it is. What a lot of white people assume was going to happen was that Trump was going to get in office, the Jim Crow era was going to come back in, black people would lose their rights, white privilege will once reign again. But a lot of the Caucasians are becoming the minority now. A lot of them are dying in great numbers. So when you say let's make America great again, China remembers what you done to them. The Mexicans remember what you done to them. The Hebrew Israelites remember what you've done to them. See, they think that just any moment, any given time, that they could be retaliated on. I'm not promoting anything, but there will be a time under Yahweh's discretion and in his calendar that things will take place. You cannot do evil and have karma dismiss you. The way the system was set up, you cannot get your hands dirty and expect to go out clean. America has been through so much, there is no more America after this. That's why the malls are closing. That's why these businesses are closing. A lot of stores in your local mall are closing. But we're going to deal with it in just a moment. The question is, are you ready for war?
Tribos. Tribos.
And just like that, we're back. So again, are you ready for war? Because what's coming in the future, in the very near future, you have to be prepared. You have to have the Most High on your side. The 1/3, you know what I'm talking about. So, to talk a little bit more about this civil war that they're trying to promote, and that will happen. Hence, the Floyd Mayweather and Conor fight that's coming on later today. This whole thing is a propaganda setup. The fight is staged. They're both gonna get paid millions upon millions of dollars to both play the game. There's a guy in Toronto who actually leaked information that the whole fight was scripted. That the whole fight was scripted out. He's dead now. You can look up this information. But yeah, it's crazy. And I'm pretty sure that this fight will change the entire sports industry. Where something is either going to go wrong to the point where someone's going to get seriously hurt, and or who knows? Who knows what they have up their sleeves? But the fact of the matter is that it's scripted, and that they're both playing a game. These guys are buddies. This is like WCW versus WWE. You know, it's like Democratic and Republican. You think they're different because one's red, one's blue. Right? But it's both the same. You take an eagle, whether you have a left wing or a right wing, either way, both wings are still a part of the eagle. And the whole Democratic and Republican scheme is all a game anyways. Presidents aren't elected, they're selected. And the thing about it is that it's all a game. It's all a circus. And I don't know if you noticed that. I don't know if you even noticed that the fact that one has a donkey as a mascot and the other party has an elephant. Well, what animals are in a circus? Is not an elephant in a circus? Will you not find a donkey at a circus? It's all a game. They're telling you right in your face, and they're laughing at their dinner parties at you. This fight today is rigged. And the fight that's going on and that went on in Charlottesville is all rigged also. The thing is, here's the main question. Why can't white supremacists confront the fact that the source of the economic problems are the economic elites? Why? What do I mean by that? Michael, what do you mean by that? Well, let's just talk about a couple of things. America is going down the tube. Manufacturing is not even anymore in America. It's basically almost disappeared. They say that they're going to bring the Apple phone distribution or building of Apple phones made in America. Okay, but that's nothing new. You're still getting the parts from China, but you're going to make them here in America? Why begin with the Apple phone when we could begin in Detroit? Detroit was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, car manufacturing industry in the United States alone. The only thing America makes is ribs, barbecue, and what else? Ribs, barbecue, and American apparel. If that, I don't even know if they make American apparel here. But you know what I mean? We barely make anything. We don't manufacture nothing. We get our plates, our cups, our t-shirts. You name it. Look on something and tell me if it says USA. Matter of fact, you could type it down in the bottom of the screen below. But we don't have any manufacturing here. It's like the returning of the factory jobs are gone. They're largely disappeared. Everything is based overseas, which we already know. I mean, what else? I mean, of course, the car industry that we know. The health care costs. Groceries are going up. You know what I mean? You're gonna spend at least 35% of your take home check on groceries. The price of eggs are going up, milk is going up, the price of meat is going up, snacks, everything is going up a few cents like every other week. Like, seriously. We are over what? Like $40 trillion in debt? $100 trillion in debt? How can we pay that back? We can't. What Trump is doing is selling land to these foreign countries, and they're gonna come in and they're gonna take this place over. And they're talking about how they want Obama back in office. See, they're letting you know, they're giving you signs. People are talking about they want the president assassinated and out the office and impeached and all this stuff. Look, this thing is about to go down. And people thought that he was going to bring back these old, put us in shackles and chains, take the blacks' rights away and all this stuff. And the ones whose rights are taken away are the, well, of course, America as a whole, but this is America is a country that's based on white supremacy. And I'm not trying to be rude, but I just got to call it how it is. But when when some white people in general lose the privilege that they have, like their money for instance, they just lose it. They just lose it. Literally. And literally just like a week ago, there was a 56-year-old couple who committed suicide. They jumped off a building in New York. They wrote a note and said that we had a good life. But they were in financial debt, and they both jumped to their death from like a 15-something story building. And they left their teenage kids all over debt. Black people, we've been in debt for so long, we're not going to do nothing like that. For one, we're afraid to commit suicide. We just don't do stuff like that. I just got to call it how it is. Also, the public education system is underfunded. And I'm not bashing college, but I understand we need doctors, we need lawyers. But if you're in college, like, why are you in college? Why? You can learn outside of college. You can learn a trade or do something you love and make money. Do you understand? There's so many ways to make money. But you go to college for 4 years, 2 to 4 years, all to become, when you're done, an indentured servant, if you can get a job in the career that you went for. You have people with their masters, their PhDs, bachelors, 2 degrees, 2-year degrees, that are waitresses at the Olive Garden, working at Party City and movie theaters and who knows what other jobs that are not in their industry, and they just have their diploma or their degree just sitting at their mom's house on the wall above the fireplace. And the thing about it is that at any given moment, the United States can employ millions of geniuses from China with visas to work for very little, and get Mexicans to work for very little over a United States citizen who has a degree. And they're making money off of your interest. And you can no longer file bankruptcy on a student loan anymore. That's done away with now. So why spend your life going to school for 4 years, paying $100,000 plus interest off of 4 years. That's 4 new cars every year. That's a Mercedes-Benz every year. Loaded with the works. Our high school graduates are not at the same level of other graduates in other countries. The government is no longer reinvesting in America. We got so many neglected roads and bridges. And in the city that I stay in, I probably got some of the bumpiest roads in all of America. The list goes on. This is a criminal country, and America will get karma. You cannot do what you've done to the blacks for over 400 years to enslave us, kill us, and to still leave us for dead. To make us think that, okay, if you change your name, you could be like us, so we change our name. Okay, well, if you read this Bible and go to church like us, you could be like us. And you put the a white Jesus with blue eyes on the wall, then and then we do all this, and that's not even his name's not even Jesus, by the way. It's Yeshua, and he didn't have blue eyes and blonde hair. He had hair like wool and feet like brass. But I'm not gonna get into that right now. And they say, if you dress well, and speak well, then you could be like us. And then no, then we talk too well. And then if you then we say, if we shuck and jive, we play sports, we be your entertainment, then maybe we could be like us. Then no, because then you making money, and then it's like one thing after another setback. And then we say, maybe we could build our own city and have our own airports and stuff. So we do Black Wall Street. And they're like, no, so they burn it down. Cannot build another kingdoms in another man's kingdom. I don't know how many times I have to say that. Why would you want to hear it anyway in this ghetto? Heaven, there's streets of gold. Don't get me wrong, this is a beautiful place. But why not go to the new one? Why put this in this evil world? Why would you want your legacy to live on here? You know what I mean? Why not try to strive for a better place that's in heaven? And one day, we will get there. Just keep your head up, keep the faith, keep doing the good work. You prepare for war during the time of peace. You prepare for war during the time for peace. And one day, we'll be able to forget about all this stuff and maybe dance to a song like this. This is Michael Israel here with Real TV. Y'all have a good night. Hopefully, you're just coming back in from the club and you're playing this show. But if you're not at the club like me, just staying in, getting the word, feeding your mind, keep up the good work and fight the race all to the end. Before I play the song, I want to get you with a scripture to help you know that you got to fight this thing all the way to the end. Alright? So we're going to go to Matthew chapter 16, verse 25 through 26. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is it profit the man, if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 28. Strive for the truth until death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. Strive for the truth until death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. We got to do this all the way to the end. Not just a little bit, but all the way to the end. Let me get you one more. And then we're going to go ahead and finish it up. Matthew chapter 5, verse 10 through 12. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you. Let me say that one more time. So when people going against you and they saying bad things against you, that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Because what? What does it say? It says, blessed are ye when men shall revile you. That's a stripe. That's a reward for you. It says, and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice. So when people saying things against you, rejoice. And then it goes to say, and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted the prophets, for so persecuted they, the prophets which were before you. So it's going to come a day when we don't accept that chip, we're going to be persecuted. And when we saying this word and this truth, we're going to be persecuted. But that's all right. We got to go through it. Why? Because there's a reward in heaven. Until then, just imagine getting there, listening to a song with your beautiful wife or your beautiful husband. One day, we'll get there. But until then, you prepare for war during the time for peace. And the question is, are you ready for war? I just want to talk to you for a little bit. I got to talk to you for a little bit. I see you in your all red dress, looking like a wine punch. My gosh, would love to take you out to lunch. Bow tie, black shoes, me and you. And you know I gotta wear tux. You deserve the finer things in life. Diamond rings and anything you need. Diamond rings and everything you need. And I love to, listen, I don't want to talk about your beauty. I just want to talk about the way that you are as a human being. Cause the way you make me feel, babe, I can't explain, so I had to get a track. I had to call my homeboy up to make a track, just to tell you how I feel on this track. And I'm hoping that you know, hope you understand, that I wanna have this dance with you tonight, baby. So let's slow dance tonight, baby. Yeah. And I love the way your smile is, and I love the way our time is, when we spending quality time together, and we holding hands in the city, and I remember our first trip to New York, and I tripped up on that part, but I'm glad you got my heart. I'm glad that I met you. I know I can't sing, but I need to let you know that so glad to have this dance with you. To have this dance with you is so special. Let's slow dance. Let's slow dance. I know I can't sing, babe, but I hope you like the melody. If I hit the studio, I'ma make you one. I'd make you a whole album if I had the money and the time to do it on one take. We can go somewhere on spring break, maybe Cancun, had the money, hit the moon. If I had the moon, I'd probably give you cheese. And if I had the hair store, I'd give you weave. And if I was a drug man, I'd give you weed. But I ain't that, and I don't smoke. And you know that I'm being real, cause I ain't joking. Baby, I ain't joking. I'm just glad to have the soul dance. and I'm glad to be your man. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Looking in your pretty eyes. Jamie Foxx, where you at? Jamie Foxx just sang the hook.